Good day everyone, my name is Iskalayan B. Santos. Welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, kindly click the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you are constantly updated to my posts. So our topic for today is all about social issues in the Philippines. We all know that social issue is rampant and constantly there. Every day there is an issue occurs. Whenever you go, you will hear an issue. Basically, we'll talk about 3 issues in the Philippines. So let's begin. So our first topic for today is all about groups denounce plan to resume face-to-face classes. Basically, this group is a youth student like me that they not concur to resume the face-to-face classes. And their group is called SPARK. Samahan ng Progresibong Kabataan. I concur to them since we don't have any vaccine and lack of mass testing. Therefore, how will safety be ensured in the proposed resumption of face-to-face classes? How will the government ensure this given the big shortage in classrooms and teachers, the lack of water supply and hand-washing facilities in schools, and the glaring absence of school nurses? I think it may cause of escalation of COVID-19 cases, since we don't have any sufficient vaccine to cure the patient who has the symptoms of COVID-19. Besides, there is presumably that the student and teachers will be infected. So the Department of Health, or in abbreviation DOH, said that it was open to resuming face-to-face classes in the Philippines, but only in areas where there is low to minimal risk of coronavirus cases. That is prejudice, that there are only selected areas who will able to have a face-to-face classes. How about other students who are struggling on online classes? Whereas, there are students that can cope up since their course is difficult to comprehend through online, like doctors, engineers, dentistry, and etc. Likewise, the proposal to resume face-to-face classes in the middle of a pandemic is illogical. Until there is no presence of greater health infrastructures in schools and pre-mass testing and contact tracing are properly implemented, the lives of not just the students alone but also their families and teachers will be at stake if the resumption of physical classes is immediately implemented. How will DepEd and the entire Duterte regime take accountability if students become carriers of the deadly disease? What will they do? They will neglect the students, just like our president did to our country. I'm not against our president. I'm against to his doings, whereas he is inconsistent on making a plan. Palaging urong-sulong yung mga plano niya. Katulad ng quarantine protocols na pinatupad niya. First was lockdown. Second was ECQ. Third was GCQ and ECQ again, then GCQ. We'll notice the inconsistency of our president on making the implementation. Moreover, I demand for the national government to subsidize the internet and gadgets to be used by all students and teachers, as well as to properly prepare for a truly safe return to physical classes through vastly improving health infrastructures in all schools, ensuring safe and accessible mass transport, and other health measures to make it possible. So our second topic for today is all about corruption in the Philippines. Corruption in the Philippines will never vanish, and every year there's a corruption issue occurs, since the government officials and also the president are the cause why our country had a poverty cases until now. Besides, it stole the money of our citizens, who are hardworking, and that's unfair to our citizens, that do their job well to earn money and support themselves, either the family. Subsequently, despite of the pandemic, we all know that PhilHealth has a 15 billion debt, and I can't presume how colossal money is that. How they can compensate that debt if the staffs of PhilHealth are thieves. And where did they brought that money? I think that they put the money for their own necessities instead of put the money for the necessities of others. In the relation to this topic, government service, insurance system, or in abbreviation of GSIS, and social security system, or in abbreviation of SSS, there are also tips. Whereas, the owner of GSIS and SSS are earn plenty of money. They earn approximately millions of money than the workers. Kasi, yung mga owners ng GSIS at SSS ay mga gobyerno at sila din ang may hawak sa both branches. Therefore, the distinction of these branches are the GSIS for public sector. It means gobyerno ang may hawak ng branch na ito. At ang SSS naman ay for private sector. It means yung mga tao na nag-apply sa SSS ang may hawak na ito. Besides, the SSS have a monthly pension, but the members only will able to receive their pensions. Moreover, why they can integrate the GSIS and SSS, since the owner of the two branches are only one, and that is the government. Isasama ko na rin dito yung problema natin sa COVID-19. Dahil yung mga gobyerno natin masyadong kurap, masyadong kapit sa pera. Ito yung mga test kits na overpriced kung ibigay nila yung mga test kits na dapat hindi naman talaga, dapat libre lang ito. Dahil ito yung kailangan ng bansa natin. Kaso nga, ang nangyayari yung mga gobyerno masyadong korap, kahit na mayaman na, binubuksa pa rin na yung pera. So, despite of the pandemic, the test kits have been declared as one of the primary defenses we have against the spread of COVID-19. The virus that is wreaking havoc on the economy and our lives for half a year now. Overpricing such materials contribute to shackling the Philippines, even more in a time wrap of suffering. COVID-19 testing packages priced at 8,150 pesos are a far cry from what the Senate Committee of the Whole in its hearing of the government's overall response to pandemic identify as the acceptable market rate of 4,000 pesos, the same amount the Philippines Red Cross charged for its COVID-19 test. Overpricing is a class-style bulok method for government officials. Ganito na ang ginagawa ng gobyerno kahit noon pa man. Masyado lang tinataasan ang isang bagay na dapat hindi naman. Nasa sobrang yaman nila. Gusto pa nilang kumita ng malaki. Gusto pa nilang magnakaw ng madaling pera. Kaya hindi ko alam bakit ganun ginagawa ng karamihan sa mga gobyerno natin. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng poverty at hindi nila ito matubunan dahil nga puro corruption ang ginagawa ng gobyerno natin. Our last topic for today is all about poverty in the Philippines. This is the rampant and long social issues in the Philippines. Even then, the time of President Marcos, there was a poverty, but only few of people who suffered poverty. Then, at the present, the people who are suffering poverty increased and became broad, since there are bad dilemmas why people become poverty. First is about the lack of family planning. We all notice that at the Philippines, the teenage pregnancy became rampant since their lack of support of parents and also lack of guidance at school. That is why Senator Hontiveros implemented the subject of family planning at the high school. And that is very accommodating, especially to our student and country, since it may lessen the teenage pregnancy. Besides, despite of the pandemic, I saw and heard other news that plenty of teenagers got pregnant, and I felt dismayed since there is a pandemic. And what if the baby get infected by the coronavirus, and that is worse? Second is about the job employment. Seeking a job is difficult if you don't finish your studies. We all know that at the Philippines, there is a standard that we call If you don't have a degree, you will not able to get a job that you want. But if you have a degree, you will easily seek a job that you want. Either the company will seek you if they notice that you have a degree. We saw the prejudice of our country when it comes to job. Likewise, the job employment in our country decreases because of the pandemic. That was the main cause why most of our fellow citizens are experiencing poverty. Then, their lives was fine, but when the COVID-19 arrived at the Philippines, most of their lives became miserable. Whereas, the businesses are frightened to infect by coronavirus. Thus, most of them closed their businesses to prevent the infected of coronavirus. Hence, it may have a broad effect to the citizens who has a job in the business. Wala silang magagawa kung hindi maghanap sila ng sidelines. Dahil kung hindi, baka mag-lead sila sa poverty. Mahirap naman kung asa sila sa gobyerno. Gobyerno natin. At wala din mangyayari kung asa sila sa kanila. Dahil, yung mga pera ng taong bayan, ninanakaw nila. Kaya paano nila sila matutulungan ng gobyerno? Yung sariling pera ng mamamayan, sa bulsa nila napupunta instead of sa bulsa ng mga citizens. So, paano? Paano sila matutulungan ng gobyerno? Diba? Hindi sila matutulungan ng gobyerno. Moreover, half of the poor in the Philippines live in rural areas. The poorest of the poor are the indigenous, landless laborers, fishermen, small farmers, mountain folk, and women. Deforestation, depleted fisheries, and unproductive farmland are the major problems for these people. As a result, there is a never-ending cycle of poverty that leads to parents having to give up their children in hopes they will have a better life somewhere else. There's a little doubt that poverty creates a culture for the creation of orphans. Many parents living in poverty are unable to care for their children as they cannot afford food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, and education. They are not able to adequately provide for their children, which leaves some to resort to placing their children in orphanage in hopes that they will have better lives. So, this is the end of our topic. I hope you enjoy my commentary about social issues in the Philippines. And thank you for watching. Always keep safe and God bless.